Happy Friday! Welcome back to Serenity del Casa. I don't know, is that even a word? I don't know. Oh my god, it's been a crazy week. Actually, it's been pretty good right up until today, and everything just kind of went. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope your week has been pretty tolerable, if not even great. That great would be awesome. The world's been a crazy place, and I know a lot of people I've talked to have had some crazy things happen. But either way, that doesn't matter. That was last week. The week is over. The weekend is here. It's time to have some fun. So, let's get this party started. Now, as you know, whenever you come over to Serenity del Casa, we got a few rules. First of all, leave your shoes at the door. Hang around for a while. Kick back, relax, let's have some fun. Bar is always open, so fix yourself a drink, or better yet, make it two. I'd have a third, but I can't carry them all, so the waitress will be around shortly. And, of course, snacks and everything galore is all the time. We got the Idaho Candy Company. We even got cotton candy from last night's dinner. So we got all kinds of snacks and munchies and chips and kick back, relax. Let's have some fun. Let's find out who's watching us tonight. So first one in here, of course, was Action Crypto. Action, my man. How you doing, brother? It's so serene in here. Wow. Hadn't been in my house, but yes, that was before the stream started. And I told you right then, it's like, don't worry. It's going to get a little crazy later, so you just kick on back in. I hope Action joins us. I keep sending him an invite to come and crash a party. But Action's a busy man. Seems like every time I turn around, he's got something else going. So, great news is we will be seeing Action tomorrow, Sunday, at ETH Denver. Yeah, we'll be talking about that here in a sec. And we got Ashley. Ashley, how you doing, Ashley? I hear we might even get it to meet up with Ashley and Celie and the whole family when we go to Denver. Super excited for that, Ashley. So stoked. Says Happy Friday, yes. And, oh, there we go. Hope Giver. Hello, all. Hello, Hope Giver. Hi, Mom. And by the way, for everybody out there, today is Hope Giver's birthday. That's right. Happy birthday, Hope Giver. And I feel pretty confident saying she is the oldest member of the Down Home Crypto community. I'd probably say her age, but I'd get the years wrong, and she'd probably want to strangle me for it. But I can tell you it exceeds 80. So, anybody else out there in the Down Home Crypto community that's above 80 years old, let us know in the chat. But either way, Hope Giver, happy birthday. We love you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Oh, wow, check's on that. Brittany! Britt, how you doing, dear? Good to see you. I hope you got the invite, because tonight might be one of those crazy ones that you want to dive into. And Smiley Girl, love you. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Smiley. Good to see you. Ash says, hi, you, Britt. All right, we got the chat going. Everybody's having a party. And we got Mission Michelle. Well, it's great to be here. Thanks, Mission Michelle. It's great to have you here with us tonight, buddy. It's going to get crazy. It's going to be wild. As we know, Serenity eats cotton candy for dinner. Yeah. It's sugar, of course. Sugar's good any time of the day, even while you're asleep. It's okay. Happy birthday, Hope Giver. Rude. What did I do? What did I miss that was rude? Did I say something rude? I am so confused. Happy birthday, young lady. Yes, she is very young. In fact, give you an idea about Hope Giver, and this is my lovely mom. I love her to death. But you guys ask me, where do I get my courage to do this crazy stuff? Start a content creation career at age 50. I mean, who does that? Well, besides me. This is a woman, for her birthday, was it 5-6 years ago, jumped out of an airplane. Please understand, she only has 1.5 legs. So I've got pictures of her going to the little airplane with her walker, climbing in, and then jumping out of an airplane. Yeah, crazy. I love it. That is the type of courage that has raised me, and I'm so proud to be Hope Giver's son. She always makes me proud every single day. So, Mom, happy birthday. We love you. And, you're not old. You're just wise. That's the way to do it. We may grow old, but we refuse to grow up. I love it. I called Graham old. Okay, fair enough, Britt. The body gets old, but the soul, that never has to grow up. And so we refuse. Baby bunnies! We got baby bunnies. Oh, my God. Where did we get baby bunnies? We get to meet the brand. Oh, we had... okay, new baby bunnies. That's what I'm... Sorry, I skipped over it. My bad, Ashley. Yes, I want to meet the baby bunnies. We're going to say excited for the stream. Yeah, me too. This is going to be exciting. But as you guys know, we're going to get the craziness in a minute. And, part of this topic was from Smiley earlier. Her and I had a conversation, but also because I had weird dreams. And then also, last week, we had Alpha's Dream to Stream. So the whole concept of dreams came up. A lot of different ways we can go about that. But first, before we dive into that, let's get in a little bit of crypto news and update, just so you know what's going on. Not a lot of new interesting things coming out, but some updates. So I got my list. We're going to run through the list really quick. Then the party begins of craziness. Okay, and I even got slides tonight. I made slides. I'm so proud of me. I made slides. Let me get rid of the comments first. Hi, Lynn. Yes, Lynn is joining us tonight. In case you guys missed that, she will be here. Wild Angel herself. Okay, so, wow. Got to click the right thing. So, if anybody doesn't know, of course, ETH Denver is a huge event. Now, it's going to be starting Sunday, and it's going to run all the way until the following March 2nd, which is what? I don't know what day March 2nd is. Is that Tuesday of the following week? Wild Angel and myself are actually flying out tomorrow morning. We'll be at ETH Denver starting from Sunday all the way until Friday, when we'll fly back to Boise. Now, here's the trick. We will not be here next Friday for Freaky Friday, because we will be somewhere between Denver and here. Where that is, I really don't know. But if you haven't checked it out already, definitely go out, check out the ETH Denver. You can get virtual tickets. There's a lot of great events going on there. And I know a lot of the people here are going to be at that event. I know Smiley's going to be there. Dylan's going to be there. Wild Angel. Not sure who else. Oh, I do know who else. Action Crypto. That's right. He's going to be doing, he said, 50 interviews if he can get them all done in time. We'll see. We're going to crash his party and find out. I know Peter Varga from Crank Team is going to be there. A lot of different amazing people are going to be there talking about their projects, learning about how they're growing the digital environment. So, going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so next piece of news just announced yesterday. If you are a Helium network operator, they just onboarded Movistar. Now, that's going to bring in over 2.3 million subscribers in Mexico to the Helium network. Man, I don't know about you, but just seeing Helium grow exponentially and take on new countries constantly is absolutely amazing. So if you have friends down in Mexico, they can now start utilizing the Helium network. That means great place to start setting up hotspots. So if you got some friends down there or you want to start getting more hotspots set up, hey, look down in Mexico. I'll bet you find some of those golden hexes. Remember, some of those hexes are worth up to 100x on their payouts every single day. So jump in the map, start digging around. If you're in Mexico, man, start looking around your area. Find those golden hexes. Okay. Any questions so far? I got to click up here to the comments real quick. Says, oh, no, so what did Ashley say? I said, the Pararescue 2 weeks ago produced a surprise litter. 5 a.m. this morning. 5 a.m. Good morning. Welcome, buddies. Good to have you. Lots of cool things. A blockchain arcade machine where you can play anywhere in the world while saving your leaderboard stats and earning crypto for playing it. Check out when you have some time. Okay, I'll check that out. Absolutely. I'm doing the 4-day boot camp. Yeah. Cheers. Wild Angel is all signed up for the 4-day boot camp, and we're going to hear about that here in a second. We'll get into that. Okay, next one. What have we got? Announced yesterday. Okay, that was Helium. Okay, the Jupiter airdrop. Okay, now remember, guys, I told you that if your wallet for Jupiter airdrop was marked as Sybil or Farmer, there would be an appeal process. Well, if you go into the Jupiter claim dashboard, and I'll put the link in the chat right now, so you guys have that. Right next to where it says your allocation, there's an appeal button. But here's the trick on that, is there's 2 different options. You can either do 1 email from a central exchange or 2 emails from a Web2 provider, like Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Trip, or X.com. One of those. Those are the 2 ways you can appeal it. The problem, personally, that I ran into is trying to go through the appeal process. I'm using Yahoo for pretty much everything. Well, it doesn't let me download the .elm file correctly, and so it keeps failing. So I've got a support ticket open to them trying to figure out how that works. But if you do have a Jupiter airdrop, definitely go in, or if you have an airdrop and you are marked as Sybil or Farmer, go in and start that appeal process. It does say they have to be done by the end of February. So make sure you get on top of that and don't let it delay. Okay. It says, yeah, maybe I'll throw in some t-shirts instead of just sweat. Ooh, yeah. Gotta have some t-shirts. I mean, that's the way to go. I know, right? I was going to bring my big coat, but I will be too hot in that. I will become hoodie girl. We're going to be hoodie girl. I love it. Okay, that's where it was. Denver, I checked, should be in the high 50s to 60s. Nice. I packed t-shirts, Ashley. I'm good to go. I love it. It's been negative here this week. Ooh, that's brutal, Britt. Brutal. No, I'm getting tired of the snow and the cold. Let's move on. Yeah, that's just no fun. Okay, so next piece of news is the Havelo airdrop. Now, if you guys have been doing Havelo, like I showed you in the video there, they're talking about their airdrop. We knew it was coming the end of this month, but they put out a voting poll. And they will either do 40 million Havelo distributed on February 28th or 50 million on March 18th. Now, they want the community's vote on this. So if you are running Havelo, definitely jump in their Discord and cast your vote. And I think the voting ends tomorrow, if I remember correctly. Does not give me a date on that. If I remember the post, I think we've got like 48 hours to do it. So if you've got an opinion on how you would like to claim your airdrop, whether on February 28th for 40 million or March 18th for 50 million, make sure to jump in there and cast your vote. Okay, so I'm trying to jump back and forth between the chat and stuff. Okay, any questions so far on that stuff before I go into some more craziness? If you got questions, let me know, guys. Let's see, private chat. Breathe, it's okay. Thank you, Smiley. Yeah, sometimes I get very excited. It's like, I must go really fast. I'm just like, what did he just say? Yeah. It's like, okay, let's record this, play it back on slow-mo, and we'll understand what he's talking about. Because I do. I get very excited on this. And when it says, ew, yeah, ooh. Negative temperatures, that's no bueno. No good. So, okay, we good so far. There's no questions come through. Let's keep going down the crazy rabbit hole of life. Now, the next thing, guys, I have told you about playing with, having some fun with these little ESP32 guys. Yep, little tiny board like this. It's about $5 on Amazon a piece. You can get a 3-pack for like $17. Well, I set them up for a couple of the projects out there. One is Erwin's cat, Schrodinger. Schrodinger's cat name is Erwin. Erwin Schrodinger. Erwin's token. Okay, that's one way that I've started earning some tokens on that. The other one is Trash Coin. And these are totally for fun. Make no mistake, you're not going to make any real money at it, if hardly at all. But I just found a video the other day talking about how I can take one of these little guys and make it a lottery coin Bitcoin miner. Now, the odds are horrible. Straight out, the odds are absolutely horrible, but they're a lot of fun. And so your odds of getting a block for Bitcoin is 1 in 5.8 quadrillion. You got better odds of hitting the lottery. But a 3-pack is running about $18. Now, what I really like about this is it's playing with new technology. Now, that's why we're all here. We're trying to build the next evolution of technology, whether it be financial, it be miners, passive income, whatever these options are. And this is just one more thing to start playing with and learning about. So I started having a lot of fun with these ESP32s. And so I want to let you guys know that, yes, you can make your own little tiny Bitcoin miner with this itty-bitty little board. And yeah, it really is that small. So if you want to learn more about it, definitely let me know. I'll put a link to the ESP32 S3s in the chat. And also a link to the documentation on how you can make your own Bitcoin miner. Did I do that one? I hope I sent the right one. There you go. And if you want to learn about flashing it and how it all works, there's a link to do that. If nothing else, it's a lot of fun. And you know what? It got me involved a little bit more in the technical side of the coding. How to go in and flash these little microprocessors. And believe it or not, the more we know and how this technology works, the wider our scope of vision about going to these deep in projects and all these different networks that are being built. And we understand why it's really the technology, not the token price we should be looking at. And that's one thing I've really tried to push on you guys is understanding technology, because this is absolutely changing our world. Okay, I've been in the mailbox in 2 days, though. You haven't been in the mailbox 2 days? Wow. That's what I send the kids. It's like, sister, go check the mail. Well, I ain't going out there. It's cold. No. I love it. Okay, let's see. Next thing is the, if you guys are running the Nebula weather station, make sure to check and see if you got your G-Point rewards. That's if you ordered early, whether through Helium Deploy or Enchantment, you should have gotten G-Points. Those are going to be directly correlated to the Nebula token once the token generation event occurs. Now, I will let you know that it took about 30 days after I got my Nebula miner up and running to receive those G-Points. So if you're just getting your miner and it doesn't show up in the first week or so, don't worry about it. They'll be close behind. Takes about 30 days, and then they should just automatically show up in your wallet. Nothing you have to do, no special hoops to hop through to get those. Okay. That's that. Okay, now, I don't see Cyril hiding backstage, so I was going to talk about that. But if you guys remember right, last week Cyril did post in the Discord that the Cassandra DAO, the returns were not matching the charts for Bitcoin and a lot of these assets that were in the index fund. So he did recommend everybody, if you are in Cassandra DAO, pull out your funds because he's not able to get a hold of the team and the math just isn't working. I was hoping he'd be here to give us a little more insight into that. But if you do have questions, definitely jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord. Talk to Cyril, find out, okay, what's going on over there, and he'll keep us appraised of what's happening. Now, once again, remember, last week, Cyril had a horrible tragedy where one of his lovely feathered children sadly passed away. So he's been a little quiet lately, but he is still there, and our hearts and our wishes go out to him. So, Cy, Lily, Rose, we love you guys. We hope you're getting through it. And, if you need anything, reach out to us. We're always here for you. Okay, so now, next thing I was going to ask, let's see. Wow. My whole script is going sideways because I'm missing people, so I do apologize, guys. Geopulse seems good if they have future quests. I'm sure they will. Ooh, I like that. I need to do more research on Geopulse. Thank you, Miss Michelle. And, yes, like button. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this out with your friends because we're here every Friday having fun. Except for next Friday because I'll be on an airplane. I don't know. Maybe somebody else will take over because you never know. Especially with, as you guys know, over the last week, we really pushed to try to help make a dream come true. And that was for Alpha's Dream to Stream. Now, thanks to everybody who donated and helped out and made this dream a reality, Alpha's computer is on order. We custom built it, selected every single component, and he's got his computer, microphone, and camera on the way. You should be seeing that here in about the next week or so. So who knows? Maybe if he gets that while we're hanging out down in Denver, I might set him up and have him do next week's Freaky Friday, and I'll just pop in from my cell phone and do the camera. But I want to give a huge thank you to everybody out there who helped make Alpha's dream come true. Because make no mistake, Alpha is the one behind the scenes. He's the one keeping our Discord up and going and secure. Why do we never get Discord hacks or scammers? It's because he's keeping us safe. So it's really important for all of us here at Down Home Crypto to support each other in your endeavors. So thank you everybody for helping Alpha get the hardware he needs to keep us safe and take his dream to the next level by educating us, because he's going to be putting out videos about coding, about crypto security. All these type of areas is where Alpha is really going to focus. So it's going to be a great benefit for all of us here. And let's see. Congrats, Alpha. Yes, Smiley. And, congrats to all of you for pulling together and making this happen, because we couldn't have done it alone. That was his dream, is to be able to stream. And, man, after seeing his hardware, it was horrible. It's like, oh, my God. I haven't seen stuff that old. I couldn't tell you when. Somebody says, yes, we want Alpha to stream. We do want Alpha to stream. Because, we can't be up here doing this stuff all by ourselves. So, speaking of a dream, now, that brings us to our topic tonight, which was, there we go, dream or reality. Where do they intersect? Now, that's an interesting question. So, one thing that I always feel like a dream is when I wake up next to a beautiful woman every single morning, and that would be none other than Miss Wild Angel herself. How you doing, love?
Hi, guys. Sorry, it's a little dark. I'm fighting technology tonight. That's not better.
It's a little better.
I'm fighting tech tonight, so.
It has been an interesting day, that's for sure. So, welcome back. It has been how many weeks since you've been here?
Well, it's been a while. It's been a couple minutes.
Wow, you have a serious delay from your audio and then your visual. I can see you say something, and then I see your mouth move like 2 seconds later. Like, wait, what?
I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Ooh. Okay, so, that explains a lot.
I don't have a plug-in port, so.
Wow. Are you in a boat? Because the whole camera keeps going like this. Like, oh my God, we're going to capsize and die. Oh my God.
I was looking to see if I had an Ethernet port.
Ethernet? Okay. It's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, cord that looks like a giant phone cord. One of those.
It's got perfect. It's going to be great.
One of those.
So, yeah, anyway, let's
full time.
It is good to have you. Now, rumor has it you are going to be here every Friday from now on. Is that correct?
Yep. Other than next week, because I'll be on the airplane.
Or waiting for our court appearance. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. You and Smiley running around in Denver getting in trouble.
Us? We would never do something like that, would we, Smiley? Us? No.
No comment. Hi. Hi,
Told her she
Wiley.
just couldn't get you arrested.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll probably have the East Denver police chasing us.
Right?
Yeah, very likely. For heckling the people that wouldn't give us a podcast time frame. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
We both applied.
Seriously. Oh,
Yeah.
well, they're
What's
lost.
wrong with those people? Totally, they're lost. Yeah, we're going to sit in the front row of their podcast like, see, we would have been better at this. Ha! So, now, Smiley, what do you got on your schedule over at East Denver?
Oh, well, I don't get in until like midday Tuesday, but Mr. Martin, my boss, is going to come pick me up. And then I don't know what we're doing. Probably checking in at East Denver and checking everything out. I'd really love to go meet the D-Charge team because they are, I think they're hosting a session that day. And then that night there's a D-Side dinner that I'd love to go to because I really want to meet Erin McGinnis because she's going to be on my D-Side podcast that I'm doing when we get back. And then on Wednesday, I'm spending with you. And so I don't know what we're going to do because, I don't know, it's just going to be craziness. And then Thursday, I'm setting up for the D-Pin dinner because Rogue is co-hosting the dinner that night. That is like the go-to site event for East Denver. Everybody's talking about it. I think we have almost 800 people who are signed up for that. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to have a wrap-up breakfast Friday morning after the event, and then that's it. I'm done.
Then you're done. I'm out of there.
I'm leaving. Yeah. So, anyways, exciting.
Nice. It is exciting. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of those. And I'm really trying to figure out how to use my phone as a camera because I want to do some of the streaming and recording from East Denver. So if you guys see little streams pop up on Down Home Crypto, you'll know why, because I really want to try and share that experience with you guys. But now, Smiley, isn't there a way they can go in and do virtual events and things like that? Is that possible? Do you know? I haven't researched that.
What I would do is I would go to the East Denver site, and there is on there a tab called Events, and you can check out all the events at the main conference as well as the side events, and you can sign up for any or none of them, whatever floats your boat, gets you excited. There's a map, there is everything you need to know, but I would highly recommend you apply for a ticket. Tickets are free if you join the Spork DAO, but you need to apply because eventually they're supposed to run out. So I don't know if they have or not. Last I heard, somebody was able to sign up, but I would definitely get tickets to everything you want to go to just so you don't miss out on anything. And then definitely look for me in Serenity. We are going to be running around like crazy people. Just if you see us, grab us and say hi. Don't be shy because we're not.
Right. No, definitely do. And, it's going to be crazy there. And, yeah, we're going to be running everywhere. But I'm sure there's people that we're not even going to be able to find in that crowd because my understanding is it's pretty insane.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of events going on. I heard that there's like dozens of just D-Pin events happening at the East Denver. So, if you're a D-Pin maxi like us, there's so many things to go to. You can't even possibly go to them all. So you just have to pick what you like.
Exactly. And I ran into problems because I was trying to schedule some of them, and there's like 3 of them on the exact same time slot. I was like, seriously, guys, come on. Stagger it out here.
I know.
Now, somebody else I know is going to be at East Denver with us. Huh? Go ahead.
I know we have a bunch of tickets to different one day. And so some of them are the same day, but we maybe want to hit a couple of them. So that's why I got us tickets.
Mm-hmm. Good plan. It's like she's
we
in
got
a
more tickets than we go
movie,
to.
isn't it?
It is, isn't it? See, it's not just me. Because, yeah, you hear sound, and it's like, you kill my brother. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
Yep. We're back in the 70s karate movie.
I don't
Here we
know
go.
why the computer won't cooperate.
Oh, it's cool.
I don't know. It's great. Now, while we're down there, Wild Angel, you signed up for a specific class. Tell us a little bit about it, what you know.
I signed up, applied for, and was accepted to the 4-day boot camp that actually starts Sunday morning and runs through Wednesday. And there was supposed to be a non-technical track too, but so far everything I'm hearing, it's coding, programming, and coding smart contracts.
Whoa.
Okay, this is scary because I know absolutely zero about computer programming. Okay, junior high, we made these really cool pictures with zeros and ones. That's as far as I've gone. So this is going to be fun and a challenge and something total. Yeah, Ashley, I've been to boot camp once. It can't be any worse, right? But we've also signed up for the treasure hunt.
Mhm.
They have a Web3 hunt that starts Tuesday morning and goes through the rest of the event. And so that could be fun. We've got the Deep End dinner. We signed up for, it's called Stellar. I think it's Stellar After Dark, but it's a casino night at the aquarium in Denver. And so, yeah, this is going to be kind of cool. I'm excited.
Yay!
It's going to be a good time. Now, of course, Deep in Dinner. Now, one of our hosts there is Mr. Dylan Schwartz. Dylan, how you doing, my man?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Busy here on the back end figuring stuff out.
I say you had a camera. What happened, brother?
I started getting a text from buddies of mine helping me set up Stripe terminals, and I'm running like 3 laptops right now.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll get your camera back here in a bit. But now, Dylan, you're one of the hosts of Deep in Dinner. Is that correct?
I just clean toilets.
Fair enough. Okay. All the good CEOs, that's what they say. They're janitors. It's one thing Action did at Deep in Seattle. If you guys haven't gone back and watched that, I highly recommend it. Go back, check out Deep in Day in Seattle. That was absolutely awesome. And you can see my shiny bald head in the front row with a notepad the whole time. It's like, yeah. But it's great information. But that's one thing that really stood out to me is most of the people up there, they all say, I'm just a janitor. And everybody else does the work. And I think that is really inspiring. That, so many big CEOs and big names are like, oh, I run this. Look at how great I am. But you get those humble people that say, nah, I'm just the janitor here. Everybody else does the hard work. I just clean things. And to me, that's huge. That really speaks volumes about the strength of the character of the company and the team. So, Dylan, what can we expect? Thanks for coming. My name's Jim. Tell us, what can we expect at Deep in Dinner, and can people watch that if they are unable to attend East Denver?
So, I'm secretly working on something, possibly broadcasting it from our official accounts. Probably going to put Jason, our international, whatever his title is, in charge of it. So...
He's the international janitor. Got it. I love it. Nice. So I even heard a rumor that Smiley's going to be wearing a dress and heels. At Deep in Dinner.
Why are you telling everybody that? Oh my gosh. Now I'm
Don't tell.
embarrassed.
It's a secret. Just in the
Okay.
family. Why are you embarrassed? Now, if I was wearing a dress and heels, that would be embarrassing. But you know. I never want to see them to see the pictures of me in a dress and heels. It's disturbing. Don't ask. We won't talk about it.
Wait, this exists?
Nope, not at all.
Oh, okay.
So there he is. Oh my God, he just crashed the party. We got a party crasher snuck in backstage. Let's bring him on up here. Syra, how you doing, brother?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hi.
Doing good, my man. How about you, brother?
Doing alright. Hey Smiley, hey Wild Angel, hey Dylan,
Hello.
hey Serenity. Haven't seen you in a while, Wild Angel.
Nope, I've been working, but guess what? I'm off on Fridays now.
Heyo, there we go.
I get to be back.
Awesome.
We missed you.
I only just now started drinking my juice, so you guys have like 40 minutes of sober sigh for right now.
Perfect. Okay. Well, Sai, I had a question for you, but before I do that, poor Crow has been hiding backstage. Let me bring him on out here. Hi, Crow. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good.
Crow.
Good.
Hi.
Haven't forgot about you. We just
Crow.
so many things going on. Okay.
Hi, bro.
So, huh? We could sit here doing this next 5 minutes, and people like somebody say something, please.
How
God.
about instead I just like drag Nexus back here?
You did? Yay!
Well, I mean, instead of us sitting here waving at each other for 5 minutes, I'll just send Nexus a link, and then there we go. We can wave at somebody else.
There you go. Perfect. Before we do that, Sai, real quick, one thing I did on the beginning of this course is the update on the crypto world. One thing I've been mentioning last week and this week both was the Cassandra DAO. Do you have any updates on that you can give us to enlighten people what's going on?
I mean, no one's heard from the team. I haven't really been able to see them or get a hold of them, which is kind of irritating because every so often the API on their website needs to be reset because they have their own Substack backend for interacting with the blockchain. Ashley, I'm Mega Hash. Hi. I was just saying hi to you. Sorry. But anywho, so the money and the funds, they're all still there and operational, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to, for people to be DCAing or buying into the funds when like the API could disconnect and they're not there to reset it. Because then you'd have to withdraw via the contracts, which if anyone needs like the contracts, I did post like the Polygon scan for it in the Down Home Crypto. But yeah, and some of the numbers just weren't mathing up, right? Because with KKF, we had the bulk of the fund was in gold, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, right? Which are the three things that are at like all-time highs except for Ethereum, but our fund is right around what it was at like last year this time, which doesn't make any sense. So the numbers aren't numbering and I can't figure out why. I don't know if it's something with their platform or what, but I'm starting to become a little concerned about it. So, if you do have anything still in KKF, just go ahead and pull it. I mean, you can withdraw them as the individual assets if you still want to keep the same spread. So it's not like you're going to have to, deal with, that. But
Why didn't you tell me
Gotcha.
about this, Serenity?
I did.
Yes, I know.
Waiting for the audio. We're watching an old 1970s karate movie. You killed my brother. Prepare to die. Wild Angel has the technical difficulties. Yes, we did mention this, Wild Angel, and it was posted in the Discord as well. So, yeah, we'll go fight with that later. Don't worry about it. But we got one more great party crasher, Mr. Nexus himself. What's up, Nexus?
Greetings, hello, and welcome on this, the day of the greatest financial heist ever committed in the history of the world, at least in terms of dollar volume. I hope
Really?
everyone's doing well. Yes, absolutely. Today's bit-by-bit drama represents the greatest heist ever committed in dollarized financial terms in history thus far. The only reason we can't bulk put FTX up in there is because they didn't steal it all at once.
Yeah, they did it over time.
yeah, this was what, like 10 billion or something?
Yeah, FTX was 10 to 15 billion when it fully unwound and everyone understood like the overall scope of the damages. This heist was approximately $1.5 billion in Ethereum tokens.
Oof.
That's crazy. Ugh. I was in a good mood. Thanks, Nexus. I'm not in a good mood anymore. Now I'm gone. I'm leaving. Screw it. We're done.
What do you mean? this is actually an inauspicious day because like mere minutes before the heist was committed and everybody got freaked out. Honestly, guys, Coinbase won their SEC lawsuit and it was over.
Right.
Like so mere minutes. Like that's bullish. That means that the networks, everything, all of the stuff we're doing, very legitimate. But the Bybit situation definitely throws a black swan wrench in all of the works that everyone's got going on. Especially if you were a token holder there and you're watching the chart get dumped on everything. That was definitely painful.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's just a bad day all the way around. And that brings up a great. Oh, good. Thanks, Si. Let me add that right now. There you go. Okay.
You're welcome.
So no, this is good. I wanted to get some information because there's a rumor going around that one thing that really helped the last bull market was our stimulus checks. That injected a lot of free money into the market. Now there's a rumor about a $5,000 tax return going out to every taxpayer. What are your guys' feelings on that, and how do you think that's going to affect the market? And what do we think the market's going to do?
I'll go first, I guess.
Go for it.
Honestly, I would say that just today's red Bitcoin price action, you can basically mark all of that off to Bitcoin derivatives being dumped on other blockchains because of this event. Honestly, we're right in the zone. It's everything seems poised. Cyril, I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say, especially given the recent developments.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we have a lot of macro factors that are coming up here. Starting from just a couple months out to as far as 20 months out, which would put us out this range. But the macro is not looking great as far as the economy is concerned. I mean, we've got commercial real estate that's getting ready to have a pop.
Just 50% printed their whole currency supply, basically.
Wait, who did?
China.
Yeah.
China M1 is spiked to an absurd level. It's so absurd it makes our COVID printing look like a drop in the ocean.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of printing here in the U.S. too. I mean, they raised the debt ceiling by what, $4 trillion?
At least something like that.
Right. But in the interim, I'm expecting a pullback down to this region, and let me show you why. Hold on. Let's zoom out.
Yes, please.
All right, so you can see that this trend line right here has been resistance since 2021, right?
Yep.
And we blew past it, but we haven't tested it yet. And what happens every time we blow past a long-standing resistance turn support, we have to test it again in order to show that it is now support, right? We popped off past that due to the mania. This was November right here. Your election mania pumped
But
it.
action like that always creates a CME futures gap. We always have to close it.
And I'm looking here at the MA50 on the weekly. That's coming on up. I feel like we're going to touch it. I think it's going to wind up hitting somewhere in this region, around 80K. I have this here just on the trend line. I don't think it'll spike down to 76. I think that the MA will stop it right before it gets there, but it will be considered support because it'll still be within the zone, right? So that's my outlook on BTC. I'm looking at all the macro events. I'm looking at a weakening dollar, a weakening yen, not yen, sorry. The
yen is weak as can be. I'm seeing some people say that whole economy is basically zero.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. At the end of the day, we have a lot of factors coming that are going to make Bitcoin more attractive. Because, look, you can't tell me that the governments and the banks went from being completely anti-crypto to all of a sudden at the drop of a hat, they all want to be in Bitcoin. Why? Well, Bitcoin's finite. What are they getting ready to do? They're getting ready to print a shit ton of money, right? So what's the best way to protect your spending power? Put it in something finite. Well, land has gotten expensive. And now you've got fucking JP Morgan declaring their intention to become a rental service through a subsidiary of theirs. All the homes that they were buying up, I know y'all remember me bitching about that during Rags to Riches over a year ago. Like,
Yep.
It's a dumpster fire. And for those who may not be aware, commercial real estate in the United States tend to renegotiate leases once every 5 years. And can anyone remember what was happening almost exactly 5 years ago? Ooh,
everything was cheap. Interest rates got slashed. You've got picture this. You have a commercial real estate loan for a skyscraper, and it's $300 million, right? And your interest payment is a measly 3.5%. Okay, so that's $10.5 million a year, But what happens when those rates get renegotiated to the current 7.5%? All of a sudden, your interest payment has more than doubled to $22.5 million a year. How many of these places are gonna be able to afford that and still say solvent?
Precisely. And when the pandemic hit, right, what did all the governments and companies and everybody do? Oh, we all got to work from home real quick, and we're shutting all of these businesses down. Like no foot traffic, no commerce, nothing. Everyone stays home for basically a year and a half. So that's 18 months out of 5 years where there was basically no commercial activity, no commerce, nothing. It's a dead zone.
Yep.
The good old days.
Last time an individual purchased a piece of commercial real estate and realized that he couldn't afford it, he flew a plane into it. I mean, oops.
That's one way to take care of the problem, I guess.
You think
welcome back, Wild Angel. Does it work? Doesn't work.
No.
Okay. Well, your video and your audio match a little better now, so that's a little better than it was.
Is it better?
Yeah, it is.
I closed when I closed it and got back in.
It's happier now.
So
I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you believe we're going to get that 5K in returns? And if so, what are you going to do with it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
so?
we're going to get it either.
Okay. What about you, Smiley?
I don't count my chickens till they're hatched.
Very wise. Very wise. How about you, Dylan?
What does the economic sense make of it? I mean,
Is it
it's a good question.
Or what is it?
The current narrative is that there is a rumor that the Trump administration and the IRS are going to send savings either from a combination of tax returns that we're not going to have to pay and Department of Governmental Efficiency savings, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to sort of bundle all of this together, and they're floating the idea right now of it being around $5,000 per taxpayer.
Wild Angel says no. Why not?
I highly doubt it. The current incumbent people, yeah, right.
Them, give money away.
Right?
Rich says, I just paid $4K in Texas, so where's my money?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a dream, and a lot of people like to really grasp onto those. They think, oh, well, maybe I'll get that. And then they start making plans and stuff. And, making those dreams and stuff before their reality can get very sketchy. We've all run into that situation before. And it kind of leads into tonight's topic is talking about dreams. Because we just made a dream come true with Alpha Cruise the other day. And then, once again, thanks to everybody here and everybody watching and everybody in the Discord. Because everybody played a major part in that. But we talk about a dream as well. My dream is to do this. Yet then we talk about having dreams at night. And the question is, which one's reality? Which one's fantasy? Which one should we worry about? Which one is more real than others?
My
And so I
dream
figured this.
right now
Yeah.
is to find out who Smedley is getting his $5,000 loan from with with this incoming rebate as collateral, and short whoever that provider is. That would be my dream.
I like that. That's good. Let's see. Hillbilly, 5 dozen eggs for $37. Is that where we're at right now?
That was last Sunday grocery shopping.
Wow.
May I
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
what general region or area you're living in that the prices are so high? I'm in a deep red farming state, so it's not that bad for me yet, but it's coming.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys have some property, right?
No.
Okay.
The yard. No.
It's okay. I'm a renter too.
I was gonna say you need a little.
I've had chickens before. I would do it in a heartbeat, but we're not allowed here.
Well, that's why you get you find someone who's getting rid of one of those old big aquariums, right? Out like those 100-gallon ones, and you set it up and you put some substrate down, you put little hides and everything, and then you buy some quail, like button quail specifically. They're small, they're cute, they do lay eggs. It takes like 6 or 7 of their eggs to equal one normal egg, but they're super high in protein and super nutritious, and you can keep them in your house.
One of my chatter says they're not very loud either, so there's also that.
Yeah, they're not. They're very,
Did a
very
side
quiet.
job, and this guy, as I was leaving, gave me the money I earned for doing the side job, and he's like, "You want some quail eggs?" I was like, "Sure." And he just walks out, and he just hands me this like big old jar of quail eggs. He's like, "Here you go, man." Thank you. Why do I feel like you? It was a really weird.
Actually
experience.
spent 9.
It's like a strange
Nine
dealer
hundred.
thing going on with quail eggs. I don't know.
Yeah, that
Dude,
was what.
you want
Yeah,
some quail eggs?
it was almost like, "Oh, you help me out." You're like, "Let give you a little bit of weed." You know, that's what it felt like. It was the same kind of feeling.
Well, as long as you don't wash the eggs, they're shelf stable for a year without refrigeration. So
Really? I didn't know that.
you
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
No.
As long as you don't wash them, and like the eggs in the grocery store, they've been washed, so they have to be refrigerated. But any natural eggs that you get straight from the chickens or the quails or whatever, as long as you don't wash them, they're shelf stable without refrigeration for like a year.
Learn something new every day. I love it. This is crazy. And pheasants.
We might
Okay.
have to get quail.
Do we put them in with the budgies, or how does that work? Do they like each other?
Maybe we could put them in with the budgies on the bottom.
I don't know. Bird God over there. Between Crow and Cyril, one of you knows the answer to that. Do quail and budgies get along?
I mean, I wouldn't keep different kinds of birds in the same enclosure,
Okay.
especially because quail are so much
True.
smaller than budgies, like the button quail are.
Okay. Note to self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just for reference, Serenity, the quail eggs are smaller than the parakeet eggs.
A deeper question just occurred to me with today's crypto drama, and I'd be curious the group's thoughts on this. The president of the United States and his project, World Liberty Finance, have been basically full stack buying giant bags of Ethereum during this whole downturn and during the entire rundown from like 3,400. I'm wondering, does the North Koreans hacking and accumulating basically a full 50 base point amount of the whole Ether supply affect the way that our president, who is noteworthily pro-crypto because of his own investments, his coins, and the project that he runs that is entirely legitimate and run with accredited investors, I'm just wondering how all of this is going to play out on the geopolitical level. It's kind of wild to see. A lot of food for thought there.
That's a lot of thought on a Friday night, man. Ugh.
This is what I
wouldn't
do
take
all day long and all night long, to be honest. I just think about this stuff. I'm always trying to think about the second and third order of these sorts of crazy things. I
Right.
guess if you want some hopium, I'll give you guys in your audience some hopium. The best and most inspiring thing to me was watching big custodians and Binance come together to forge a lending agreement at basically no notice whatsoever to provide crap loads of Ethereum-based tokens and liquidity to Bybit so that people could withdraw if they wanted to withdraw their assets because they were scared. And seeing that, which is literally basically the opposite of what happened during the FTX days, in which Binance says, we think Sam's a scammer. Let's sell all of our shit that belongs or is associated with FTX and see what happens. And sure enough, they broke the bank. But in this case, this is like the opposite. They said, whoa, let's quick rally the posse. Let's round up some money bags, and we're going to deliver a golden carriage to Bybit with a lending agreement to pay us back when we can get this whole thing resolved.
Which begs
that's
the question, why, right? And it proves if they wanted to, they would, right?
Oh, yeah.
So why did they choose to save Bybit and take down FTX?
That is what gets me thinking about this. And it's important to note that the CEO was, before this lending agreement had officially been made public, the CEO was on live stream saying, yo, this was basically all my fault. I was the last signer, and I clicked sign.
Makes you wonder. I don't know. What is it going to look like? Yeah, it really. You got to ponder that question a little bit. What are we in store for in the next year or so? Because I mean, something's got to happen, right? What's it going to look like? What do you guys think?
Well, Lazarus did lose about 1 million plus trying to penetrate Hyperliquid, testing that protocol out. This basically makes 100 times what they lost and then some.
Yep, exactly. Let's see. Let me catch up on the comments here. Let's see. He does tricky stuff like that. What's that? Oh, the incubation of the garage. Okay, gotcha. Still on that one. Heard ETH Inverse coming up. Who's going? Hillbilly Crypto. That's a good question. So I know I'm going. Smiley's going. She's that way. Sai?
No.
No. Dylan is. Nexus, are you going to ETH Denver?
I considered it, but I decided that I'd really only want to go if one of the freelance bosses I work for wanted to send me and pay me to do it. Otherwise, I really don't know that I would want to go because I can basically watch all the conferences from home anyway. It's a crypto conference. Like, they're just going to live stream everything. So honestly, if you guys want to go to such things, it's good for networking if you're like already kind of entrenched in the space. Otherwise, you're just kind of giving crypto rich people more money who are already otherwise entrenched and spreading the love to the projects they want to see and the founders they want to promote. And you can kind of see that based on the sponsors too.
Well, I'll give you guys a little tip. If you reach out to these events a couple of months beforehand and say, hey, I would like to volunteer to help out, how can I do that? You will 100% get to rub elbows with way more people than you would if you bought a ticket and went.
Absolutely. And they'll comp your hotel stay too. You'll probably need to cover your own food and beverages and stuff like that and any other extraneous travel costs. But most of the time, they'll comp at least the hotel stay, if not the travel cost.
Yep. So if you ever want to go to one,
that for next year.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, okay.
offer to volunteer, because then you're helping set up all the rooms, you're helping tear down all the rooms, you're getting to talk with like the founders more one-on-one than you would normally. Like,
they remember seeing you do it, they remember that guy being helpful, all the people in charge get to hear your name as being a builder and a community collaborator rather than a drain and a leech. Like, it all really adds up.
Yeah.
Do it one time, you'll have a better reputation than Frank D. Gods and Thread Guy. Boom.
So
might have to do that now. Now, Smiley, I hear you're volunteering from one of them, right?
Well, we're co-hosting the Deep End Dinner, so I get to work the registration table and meet everybody. I'm excited.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I get to meet so many people that I've known online for years and I have never met in person. So I'm so excited. I mean, just to be with a person in person, it's totally different. There's a whole different vibe and you get to know kind of what they're like. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's different. And I totally quieted the whole room.
Oh no.
No, real life is totally different. I love being face to face with people.
Mhm.
And so that'll be cool. And Hillbilly, it's
so-
not deep in, it's DEPIN. Deep in.
Yeah, deep in. Yes, deep in. Deep.
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to catch
E.
that.
Just one E, I promise.
It's decentralized physical infrastructure networks. That's what DPIN is, and I apologize. I hate it when people use crypto speak and expect everybody else to understand. So thank you for calling me out.
I've never said deep in real life before. Actually, on this cast would be the first time I've ever spoken that. I've only ever typed.
Really? You need to talk more. See, that's what it is. So, Wild Angel, now you went to, our first event we went to was Seattle, Deep In Day. Now, how would you compare that to the different streams and stuff so you've been a part of or even watched, things like that? What makes it different?
Real life versus streams or digital?
Right.
I'm big on connection. And when I can ask a question face to face with somebody, I can usually get an idea if they're full of it or not.
I feel that digitally, the next best thing I can do is like empower you to ask the direct question of the sponsor while they're on Facecam. That's like the best that like I as a creator could do for that.
Right. Like on a cam, at least I can see your face. If they're behind Nexus, like you've got the little avatar there.
I have to be this way. I write reports on Koreans, bro.
No, I'm just saying, but there's the difference of like being on a webcam where you can see somebody's face or not. So for me, at least having a visual connection versus it just being a mask. I can't read a mask where I can read a face. And
you can read a mask's actions though. And that's what keeps. You can read a mask's actions. Judge me by what I do, not what represents me and not what I believe. Because what I believe and what I know changes every day, all the time, if I'm a genuinely dynamic person. And I'm being honest with you about it. I'd show you my face right now, but there are people who would love to kill me and would really love to know what I look like.
That is true.
Fair enough.
I can confirm.
I am excited to go to boot camp because there's a lot of people who are very knowledgeable and I can ask questions I may not ask on a stream, especially if it's public stream, because I know nothing about coding, but they're also doing a mixer Monday night and they've invited all of the founders and people to come to the mixer, and it unfortunately Serenity doesn't get to go with me.
I don't get to go.
Boot camp participants only. It is exclusive. So unfortunately he has to find something else to do Sunday night. But they're offering us this opportunity to meet these people face to face. So I'm kind of excited.
They're going to love you. You're awesome. Everybody loves you.
I'm scared because it's going to be by myself. But so my emotional support human will not be with me.
Nope, I won't be there. You're on your own.
Well, if you have a moment,
And-
text me, and you just need support or encouragement or anything, just, I'm available. Just let me know. You got this.
I will. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You got it. So, and, I agree that there's certain aspects of anonymity that's very required and other people don't understand. Some people do. I live in Boise, Idaho, as you guys all know. I sit next to a woman who's Army veteran. We're armed. We're unstable. And there's a lot of desert here. We hide a lot of bodies. It's okay. Not everybody has that. Some people, some neighborhoods, some areas, things like that, they get very sketchy, and you do have to worry about your private safety, things like that. So I totally understand that. That's why sometimes you do need to stay hidden. So I totally relate to that. Now, personally, I always like and really strive to talk to founders face to face. Even if I do a video for them, I require talking to a founder or team member face to face on camera, even if it's not recorded, before I'll ever do it. Because that's how I get to know, can I trust them? Can I believe in them? Not everybody does that. Not everybody thinks that's required, nor is it beneficial in any way. So what do you guys think? Is that required to really get to know somebody, to see their face? Do you think it makes that big a difference?
I did a whole space on this once because I get judged, or I did back when I was just the PFP. I got judged all the time, because my voice, and that's all they ever heard. They never saw what I looked like. And being a woman in this space, especially like 3 years ago when there weren't as many women in this space, everybody would immediately look at my PFP, make assumptions, judge me based on it. They didn't want to listen to me or what I had to say or what I did in the space. It was all appearance. And it just sometimes it grated on me. I get tired of it. I'm like, why don't you listen to what I have to say? Oh, no, I don't have, a picture of me with my chest bared. I guess I'm not worth listening to or paying attention to. And so sometimes it's difficult. But I'm with Nexus in that you really should, in this space, listen and observe and really research what people are doing and what they're saying, as opposed to what you just see on their tweets or what, you just get a flash of their PFP. Kind of dig deeper, please.
Exactly. And I'm going to flip this around. Crow, I'm going to put you on the spot. You've been off quite down there. Now, you, of course, are not always in this crypto space. And so, for you as just a normal investor, somebody on the outside watching, what do you relate to the best? Do you understand the need for anonymity? Or is like, no, if I don't see their face, I don't trust them? What's your gut tell you?
Depends on what's going on. Like, if I'm just talking with someone, there's no real need to see someone's face per se, because we're all having a conversation right now. A little less than half, or just have PFPs. Have a conversation. The points are always sometimes getting across because I forget what the percentage is, but like 80% I think is what they say of communication is non-communicative.
Nonverbal.
Thank you. So sometimes the points don't always get across, but we have conversations. But if I'm like giving you my money, I wouldn't give some picture of a game or something my money just because it looks cool.
Okay, so the face-to-face or seeing them on camera stuff, that makes a difference to you as an investor, you're saying?
If I'm giving my money, yeah.
Okay. That's an investor, man. I hate to tell you that.
Investigated
I think it qualifies.
fraudsters who went on camera, doxed themselves, and shared their whole name, location, and identity with people before ripping them off of millions of dollars. So some folks might actually discover that even beyond getting to know somebody, spending great amounts of time with somebody, maybe even living in the same house with somebody, is not even enough to actually know who they are when given access to money.
Yep.
I always
Money changes
say,
people.
Can't trust them
Good.
till you've been in them.
Feds are definitely a big part of the problem, and I'm going to be honest with you, Hillbilly Crypto. Before I got into crypto, I did a little bit of independent journalism to investigate police officers who would abuse their power to conduct what we would refer to as civil asset forfeiture, which is to say they pull you over, declare any money that you own is theirs, and vamoose. Now if you want it back, you're suing a pile of money owned by the sheriff's department.
Well,
Yeah, they're
not.
going to spend that on their budget. You're never getting it back.
No, you'll never get it back. I mean, the Department of Justice, just 2 weeks ago, straight up told everybody, money is fictitious. Ergo, if we take it from you, it's ours to begin with. We have the right to just take it back. It is not property. You do not own it. So if you have US dollars, you don't even own it, right?
Oh yeah, the DOJ has and Hillbilly Crypto, I do have a problem with this. If anyone else does, I'd love to hear about it. I have a huge problem with this because the DOJ doesn't consider any of your money to be property. That's not even a thing you can actually own. And that's a legal theory they've been operating with for some time now.
Since
Then
1971.
why do we have to pay taxes on it? If it's not ours, why do we have to pay
Great
taxes
question.
on it?
Well, here's the thing. Legally speaking, show me the law that says you have to pay taxes. First off, go find it. I'll wait. Okay.
I got all sorts of laws that say you have to report your income. I have no laws to say that you must pay the U.S. government the biblical equivalent of Caesar's penance.
Right. Because ultimately, when they collect taxes, right, everyone thinks, oh, I don't want my tax dollars being spent to do X, Y. They don't spend your tax dollars. When you pay your tax, they delete it from the monetary balance over at the Federal Reserve. Okay?
Because the dollar is a debt instrument. It's not a currency.
Right. So, there's plenty of ways to file your taxes in manners that don't involve you owing any at the end of it, right? So, why are you letting them just set fire to... Why are you giving them money to burn? Because that's all that they're going to do with it.
Talk.
Yeah, Mr. Michelle, that's what I'm afraid of, because I would go to jail for that. Absolutely. Tax evasion.
Tax evasion is a crime. Tax avoidance is an accounting strategy. There is a big freaking difference, and you can ask any bank or any corporation.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't owed taxes in a while.
But too long didn't read. Tax evasion is legal if you know what you're doing, and a crime if you're committing fraud.
Right. There's plenty of ways to write off what you would have owed, and they're all legal, right? 100% legal. I mean, hell, McDonald's has avoided paying taxes for eons because they don't own the branding. They transfer that around to shell corporations all the time, and then the corporation, McDonald's itself, pays those shell corps a licensing fee to use the branding at all of their locations, and that's a very, very large licensing fee. So McDonald's is a corporation,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant accounting and economic strategy. And to sort of echo what Mr. Michelle wrote, fraud. The real fraud to me is that in giant landowning corporations like McDonald's and a whole bunch of foreign property holders get basically what feels to me more rights than I get as a born citizen. And there's a number of rulings and court things that essentially guarantee this to remain the case, including but not limited to Citizens United, which grants corporations, foreign and domestic, the right to spend infinite amounts of money influencing and lobbying our politicians so that they can run the next campaign. Which starts immediately at the end of the last campaign and not 2.5 years later when it should start.
Right.
Yep. And see, being aware of all these kinds of things is how you're going to succeed, right? How you're going to do well at trading, because you're going to know how the money moves, right? And what the markets actually represent. It's all just a game.
And for them, it is a game. I mean, you look at our government, how it's going now, it's all economically driven. I mean, all of it. All they're talking is money. They're not talking about laws, things like that. And anytime it's we want to change that. What's against the law? No, it's not. We're just going to change it. Watch us. Why? Because they have the money. It's So we got to have some class or something. We got to figure this out. So how do the common people, like the working force, how do they get ahead and start utilizing these rules? Is there ways to do that?
Oh, sorry, are you asking me? Sorry, I was in the process of looking up a transparent background logo of Internet Explorer for reasons. So
Okay.
I may have missed the question. Nexus knows the reasons.
How do
Eh,
day people learn these rules that make it so that we can not end up giving the government so much money?
Yeah, so
Personally, I try to educate people as best I can. Cyril, I could confirm, does exactly the same thing to the degree that he can, but we're both just individuals trying to spread this information.
right, so the regular person, if you really want to know, you got to understand what you can and can't write off, right? What things do and don't pay taxes. I mean, sure, there's a little cost involved with setting up your initial LLC, the nonprofit and the charity org. But once you have those three things set up, along with the trust, you're pretty much set, because you aren't supposed to own anything under your name. Right? Because you have to realize when you were born and your parents signed your birth certificate, they were signing a contract by proxy, a over 600-page contract between them, you, and the U.S. government. Right? That essentially, and your social security number, they open essentially an account under that. And they buy and trade your future earnings. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of that. I know Nexus can tell you all about how they do it with prisons, and the labor performed in prisons and privatized and all of that. But they do the same thing at a government level with the people. It's why corporations rent us from the government. Your job rents you from the government. Okay? Do you know that?
No, I had no idea. I'm being rented?
When you get your W-2 and they're pulling the taxes out, the company also pays taxes on your earnings. They have to give the government a cut, right? So think about that for a second. Why would they be paying taxes on money that they're paying you, that you then have to pay taxes on? Because they're renting you from the government, because the government owns you. It's why suicide is illegal. Attempting suicide is illegal. Because you're not allowed to damage the government's property, right?
That's disturbing.
Because remember,
Yeah,
I told you guys before, the bonds, treasury bonds, right? And like the U.S. bonds and everything, it's the dollar, it's backed by the future labor, right? Treasury bonds are backed by future labor, which is why if CPI is going up and workforce is going down, the bonds will tend to drop.
That makes sense.
In an ideal market.
So, okay, we got to throw this to the audience. So, Smiley, how do you feel about being owned by the government? What does that do to your brain? Does that just go, or
Well, I think it's interesting going back to the birth certificates. It used to be that you could just apply for. No, wait. No, sorry. Never mind. My thought is incorrect. I was going to say.
You're good, boss.
I was going to say that Social Security numbers, you used to be able to apply whenever you wanted to if you needed it for something. But now the baby cannot leave the hospital without applying for a Social Security number. And that I find fascinating, interesting.
If you look at Elvis Presley's original Social Security card, you'll see a very interesting phrase on there. It says, not to be used for identification purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
And yet, what do our banks and all these KYC providers ask for? That, among other forms of identification.
And on top of it, the Social Security, which is a big chunk of what they take out of your taxes, right?
Yeah.
If you're a W-2 employee, it used to be optional, right?
Mhm.
Because you were pegging into the fund so that you could then receive it when you die. Or not when you die, sorry, when you retire until you die.
Yeah, when you retire.
Right. Well, but now we're that's not going to be there anymore, right? It's already pretty much gone.
Retirement? What the hell is that?
Well, you know what's so interesting? My dad was so angry when he retired because he was getting a pension. When he applied for Social Security, they drastically reduced the amount he could get because he already had a pension from his private job. But he's like, I paid into Social Security. I should be able to take that money out. But no, they prorate it depending on how much you're getting from other sources. I was like, that wasn't fair.
No, that's bad. Okay, nobody can retire. That's it. Game over.
Game over. No one can retire. We all have to pay for Social Security forever, which means we all have to work forever.
Right around
Right.
the time where they're now entering human trials on a new treatment that essentially rewinds your aging clock. They had incredible results in all of the trials that they did on rodents. They were able to dial the age all the way back up to 90% in some cases, depending on the organ that they were dialing it back on. And now they've entered human trials. So just in time for all of us to take a little series of pills that will then turn us immortal or rewind the clock 90 years for us to never be able to retire because, well, it just won't be there.
That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine living that long. I don't know. Now, Crow, you're so young, of course, so you've got a lot of years. What if somebody told you that you could take a pill and actually be immortal now, and you could work for the next 300 years without a problem? How would you feel about that?
I love it.
Put me to work. I'm good. Put me in, coach. I got it.
Well, I guess after 300 years, if you haven't managed to figure out a way to sock enough money aside to take care of yourself, then you're really kind of screwed.
Right, but at the same time, like we're talking here, is a lot of these people have no idea how the system works. They're running on hopes and dreams. Like, oh, okay, maybe this coin will do 1,000x, so I'll be able to get some money that way. Most of these people, nobody teaches them in life, how to get ahead, how to break free of the barriers.
Well, they want us to. Because if we break free and break out of it, then, hey, we're going to challenge them. We're not dependent on them.
Absolutely. Back when James D. Rockefeller funded the initial creation of the Department of Education to create public schools, he said, I do not want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of laborers. Right? And I've told you before how our modern education system was essentially copied from a education system created by Prussia after they had conquered a neighboring country and wanted to re-educate and train the children of that company to be good Prussian kids, essentially. And so when our nation was rapidly entering the industrial era, we had this problem. We had a bunch of free-thinking people who were used to working the land and providing for their families all on their own. How do we get them to come to work in our factories, right? You have to re-educate.
Oh, and even beyond the re-education, of which you're taking a cottage industry and moving them into actual commercial factory industrial tier industry that we're familiar with today. You've got to retrain the workforce, and on top of that, you got to make sure their paychecks are satisfactory and can cover living expenses that, again, just like any time that where things are tense in the working world in the early 20th century, there was a lot of strife. And it all precipitated the First World War.
So you
don't think that... Good.
Go ahead, Wild.
With wages, they just did a survey for Idaho. with the state employees. They would need to. Yeah, I work for the state.
Salute you.
They would. I get to take money from insurance companies, so I actually take money from big companies. So it's kind of fun.
I love it.
But they would have to give us a 30% increase to make us comparable to on public sector.
So let me get this straight. You guys, as state employees, would need a 30% wage increase basically yesterday in order to compensate for the CPI, the rising cost of rent and utilities and everything else.
To
That's
make
wild.
us comparable to non-state employee wages.
Oh, yeah, the
And
private
our
sector.
wages are limited by legislators. They have
Yes.
to, even the legislators, they have to approve their own cost of living. Yeah.
I'm going to
they-
be real, though.
when they
To be
get one week.
fair, the private sector people might make more cash money, as in like straight up free cash flow, but you're probably going to make out better than the regular private sector worker when it comes to benefits, because the companies
we
don't
have some
want.
pretty good health insurance.
Yeah, the companies I've worked for, they don't want to pay for that. They want to pay
No.
for the cheapest, shittiest thing they can. And in COVID times, when I was still a day laborer, they actually completely slashed working hours. And as a result, anybody who fell below the threshold, because you were just the victim of an hourly slashing, you basically were SOL, shit out of luck, because you were going to have to find some other way to get your insurance covered because the company wasn't going to cover you.
Right. We've got some pretty decent insurance. But we also 7% of our gross goes into Percy. Percy is one of the better retirement systems. They've been around for a long time and they are well managed. So when I retire, Percy will still be there. Regardless of what Social Security's doing, Percy will still be there because it's that well managed.
Now, Walding, let me ask you, because I know Hope Giver, Mom, and happy birthday, Mom. If anybody missed it, yes, it is Hope Giver's birthday today, our oldest member of Down Home Crypto, our youngest, depending on how you look at it. I know she runs on Percy, is how she survives every day. So who runs her? How does Percy work? What makes that different than Social Security or some of these other ones?
Well, Percy is managed. They take it and they actually do solid investments with it. And so they get a return on that. And so I don't know exactly how it works. Percy private. I don't even think, I don't believe they are state employees. So.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think
like an
a
investment
private
firm.
thing.
Okay, and that's
I
why
think
it's
so.
separate from whatever the government does.
Right. I know we pay in for firefighters' retirement as from the Department of Insurance. The premiums that our insurance companies write that are fire-based, which there's a whole huge I have a whole spreadsheet to calculate it. We put in for the firefighters to augment what they put in because they are such a high risk. So we have that extra add in for them. So
Okay, that makes sense. So and it's interesting of looking at what the government's doing, and we're seeing all these drastic changes right now from laws, from everything else, and a lot of us are watching the news and we're saying, hey, that's great, we're going to save $1 trillion or whatever on our deficit. How do you guys think that's going to actually affect us, the people or the business owners, like you, Dylan? What's that going to do for your business, for Rogue Evolution? Is that going to be a benefit? Is it going to be a risk? Or how do you foresee all these things that Doge is running at and all these fraud things they're getting rid of?
definitely a benefit either way on the tax side of things that don't affect us too much, simply because we have a trust structure set up to where we actually pay taxes in Dubai, which Dubai is a 0% tax rate.
Okay, so you're working the system kind of like Cyril and them were talking about. You're doing it the smart way per se, so you're not getting directly affected here by the U.S. and all the craziness going down.
Correct.
Good man. So, what about you, Crow? How do you think that's going to affect you, buddy, as a working man out in the day-to-day punch of the clock?
No idea.
Salute you too, bro. I salute all my working class people. Shout out to all my working class people in the chat. Sorry, I just had to say that.
No, that's good because it's tough. You go out, you punch clock every day. It's not an easy life because there's nothing you can do. At least, like Wild Angel's talking, you got something to look forward to at the end. But man, you never know when you show up to punch that clock the next day if it's going to be like, oh no, you're fired. It's like, wait, life's over. And man, that's a level of stress that I hate dealing with. It's scary. That's on a good day.
More Americans than not are one paycheck away or one injury away from destitute, right? And it's at levels never before seen. Nexus, do you remember off the top of your head what the statistic was about, what was it, like 1% of the nation's wealthiest have 43% of the nation's wealth?
Oh, actually, I believe it was a bit more dramatic than that. I believe we've now reached a whole new level of wealth and labor to cash value stratification. I believe the current proportion is that it is 0.1% that owns 51% of the money.
Yeah, it's
Wait a minute, I thought they couldn't own money. How does that work?
Funny.
Oh, but
Yeah,
those
no,
uber
they own
wealthy
debt
people.
securities. They own assets and debt securities that simply only appreciate.
Ah, okay. There you go. Got to
Yeah.
know the game.
Buy,
Hey,
borrow,
Beefcake.
buy. Oh, it's Billy. Love you, Billy.
Absolutely. Love Billy. And it's no good billionaires. Yeah, there's really not. And wow, we went down a whole rabbit hole tonight, but this is good information. So let's dive into this for a quick second, guys. Let's take Crow, for example, because Crow, I'm going to pick on you because you're definitely the working class man on the screen up here. I'm not anymore. What would you guys advise Crow to do to start?
It's okay, Crow. I love you. Hit him, Serenity.
Get him! What would you guys advise Crow does as like his next step to start building up and start utilizing some of these rules, and how can they cut down on their taxes? What foundational pieces do they need to get in place first and foremost?
You want to go first, Nexus?
Well, for me, it's just a matter of being able to easily take account my income. In my state, I live in a very red state that's known for a lot of government welfare because we're all fucking poor. My state tends to have a lot of people who are making less than half the national average, which is about $57,023. So it's a little worse than that, honestly, but inflation distorts everything. So in essence, in my state, if you make under $25,000, then you're basically not paying even local taxes. And if you are, it's going to be very, very small. It's going to be something on the order of $80 to $90, less than $100 for a year's worth of labor and income. I, in my life, can't even recall a time where I actually paid taxes. I only ever actually got refunds all the time because of taxes withheld via Social Security, etc., from my W-2 income sheet when I was working for the corporations. Now, the important thing for retail people, whether you're working a day job or whether you're just trading a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 worth of crypto every now and then, the important thing to remember is your dollarized income. That being what hits your bank account that you're going to spend. If that number is typically, and I've checked across 50 states, this varies state by state, so the locals might still hit you. You got to check your locals, which are going to be different from the federal. The federal is its own alien beast out there in Washington, D.C. So the simplest way I can put it is if you can calculate your dollarized income and it's above or below a certain threshold, then you can apply capital gains methodology to it. You'll basically know in advance if you even owe anything. Most of the time when I'm reporting my income, I'm reporting that I lose money. So I'm a professional money loser out here. But honestly, it's working out pretty well because the portfolio is looking tasty. What's Bitcoin at still after the crash? 96,300 at current moment? Yeah, no, I'm doing fine. I'm doing all right. Oh, and the secret they don't want you to know. Debt is not taxable. Repaying loans is not taxable. These are exploits. These are secrets, and that's actually how the rich stay rich. So if your credit card, that's a loan. Every time you swipe it, you're taking out a baby-sized loan. Repaying it is important for a credit rating, but honestly, it's even more important for those taxes because that is not even barely expenditure. You're taking out a loan that you're going to repay later, and that's not taxable.
And if you're married, you should have a separate LLC for your spouse, and you should always wind up having a contract agreement on paper where your various businesses or LLCs owe money to your spouse's LLC, right?
Yeah. Remember how I said earlier that companies have more rights than people? And you're looking at why.
Yeah. So start looking at what companies can do. You know, I mean, you can file.
People have the rights again.
There's a freaking form you can file that allows your LLC to be taxed as an S corp, right? Which S corps only owe taxes on money that's left over after they're done spending, right?
I like that one.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah, because on Down Home Crypto and on Dreaming Dragon, I get double taxed on my income. Not only am I paying income tax, I'm paying self-employment taxes. But neither of them has run a profit yet. So, like I said, Sai, we need to talk.
Sounds like a plan.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, Wild Angel. As basically a crypto freelancer, crypto miner, investor, trader, consultant where I can, I have basically run a break-even business for 5 years. But honestly, the trick is, from my perspective, as long as you're doing honest accounting, as long as you're not dipping in the cookie jar, as long as you got what you say you got, and you keep going, you keep building, you're going to pull it together, and you're going to keep showing what entrepreneurialism really means, really looks like, because 90% of tech startups go bankrupt within 365 days. So if you've been creating and making money in any way for longer than 365 days, congratulations, you beat the average.
Yep, Down Home Crypto has 2 years, 3 years.
Bless.
So
that's beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, you've crushed the average 3 times over, ma'am.
I've got to go, guys. I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I had a really good time tonight.
Thank you, Smiley, and look forward to seeing you in a couple days.
I know, it's so exciting. So exciting. Thank you.
We're going to get in so much trouble.
I know.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Have a great night, dear.
You too.
So let me throw a curveball at you guys, because we're getting all this great information out there. So I know, Crow, one of your big things is you want to buy a house. That's it's like your ultimate dream right there, right?
To buy a house. That would be awesome, man.
Right?
I share that dream with you.
So here's a question I want to pitch at our entrepreneurs and our brilliant minds here. What is the best way for a working class person to buy a house to make it beneficial to them? Is there a certain way to do that, or a certain way not to do it where it's just going to bite you in the ass? What kind of advice can you give?
Well, not under your name, for one, right? You do it under.
You make sure a company owns that house.
Yeah. Depending on your goals, it would either be an LLC or it would be a trust that owns the house, right? And then, if you've got a relative, as soon as you have property and you've got a relative who's, I don't know, maybe close to kicking the bucket, when they do, look up the code for how, what a gravesite needs to entail, and then bury them on your property. Then go down to your local county office and apply for the right to bury someone on your property. As long as you've done it to code and you can prove that, they'll give it to you. But it's better to apply for those after you've already done it, because they're not really going to pay to move it. But anywho, once you get that, then the property no longer pays property taxes because it is a cemetery. Why do you think funeral homes are such a big business? So then you have, this property either in your company or an LLC that's now a registered cemetery. You have that. It's not paying taxes. It's growing in value over time because land has a tendency to do that, right? So don't put it under your name. Put it under your business or put it under a trust. If you want it to be a family home that you want to pass down to kids someday, put it under a trust. Because the last thing you want to do is gift it to them in your will. That would be horrendous for them. That's how the banks get the homes back, right? Because then you have to pay the inheritance tax unless you live in a state where there isn't inheritance tax, which often wealthy people will have primary residence in a state like that. So, there's all of these little tips and tricks that you do and you set up. And yeah, exactly. Dylan, feel free to chime in, man. Go for it.
Oh, fine. I would say, do the trust structure, and you put yourself as the beneficiaries as well as your children, et cetera, et cetera. Same goes for financials and so on and so forth. I don't have any assets in my name.
Yep, same here. On paper, and according to, all that is out there in legal, I am a fairly average individual, right, as far as everything is concerned. And
well, the IRS hasn't even asked me for as much as a fucking P&L since 2024. So...
So, tax rate in LLC.
Not entirely sure what you're asking.
Yeah, you got me on that, Mr. Michelle. If you could, give us a little bit of better question there. Yeah, we'll definitely try and answer whatever we can here, guys.
One of my
And
chatters
says,
knows property taxes are through the roof for the state of Indiana, basically doubled in 4 years. So real estate is definitely going to need to be something that we all need to kind of research hard, because if you're renting or paying or living with your parents or something, like, my hat is off to you. Like, save, work hard, do what you can to build up. But when it comes time to buy real estate, geez, start learning how the locals handle taxes.
And just remember that. Oh crap! What was I going to say? I had a brain fart. I had something I was going to say. Crap. It was about, real estate. Just remember, real estate is often very easy to get put into a loan. Once you have, I think, at least like 625 in credit. It's very easy to get real estate as a loan and then wrap a construction loan into the mortgage on the property itself, right? Because what you do is you get the blueprints of the home you want to build on this essentially barren property, as long as it has either a nice flat area that will pass a perk test, right? You get your loan on the property, wrap the construction, take the blueprints when you go to do this of the home you want to build. They will often be happy to do that because there will be instant equity in the property when you complete construction, right? So that's how you can get a home built relatively cheaply, right? You can get with a very small down payment as long as you have 625 credit, which it may take like 2 to 3 years, but it is possible to turn bad credit around relatively rapidly, and you got to research the ways to do that, right? I'm not going to go into that. That'd be another whole discussion, but there's ways. So even when you're not sure, if you're stuck in this punch in, punch out, living paycheck to paycheck, and you're sick of it, right? You can formulate a plan and take these action steps and fix it, right? And get a property, get a house where you want, just following a couple of steps, right? It'll take at worst like 3 to 4, maybe 5 years to make it happen. But would you rather be living there in 4 or 5 years from now? Or would you rather still be doing what you're doing, right?
That's a good point.
Dylan, a business absolutely has a better chance of getting loans as well. It is very, very easy to get low document or no document loans with an LLC to get a little bit of starting capital, and you can provide a business plan. Be like, look, we plan on developing this property. It's going to get equity. We're going to turn it into a location rental, Airbnb. Here's the projected income based off of other local ones that are being rented out, right? And bam, you're taking a business plan to a bank to get a business loan to buy the property and construct and build a business. Remember, interest is paying access to money. It's how you access money. You pay interest, right? So this is how you work. You leverage other people's money, debt, the bank, right? Because then you're a business partner with the bank. You're not just some Joe Schmo coming in off the street trying to get a loan or a line of credit, right? They don't trust you. But bring them a business, now you're a partner. You are both going to make money together. The bank is going to get their cut in the form of interest by giving you access to use their money to develop the property and turn it into a cash flow, right? Do a little bit of research. Okay?
Smashly rent a dead relative.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's good. I love that. So now one thing, a lot of people, I think they're caught up on the idea that, if your name's on the list, you don't own the house, and that's like almost a state of stature, or it's like, look how important I am. I actually own my own house. But you're saying the smartest way is to not own your own house, at least not in your name per se.
Right. Your various businesses own these homes, right? They bought the property, they developed it, they're renting it out, they own the homes, whatever, right? Hell, you could be renting from, or in exchange for managing the company. On paper, you're managing the LLC, right? In exchange, the company comps you staying at one of their rental locations, right? But then you're writing off that comp on your business as a loss of potential revenue. So then you're writing off your own, you're basically charging the government rent money for you to stay at your own house. You get that, right?
Right. Oh, that's evil. I love that.
And it's legal. And it's how the businesses do it. It's how McDonald's owns the most land, right? They bought the land to build a McDonald's, and they have it in all the best locations, and the bank was happy to loan the money to do it.
And I, as the McDonald's Corporation, will license out anything I want to whichever holder I choose, so I can yank and provide franchises to new people anytime I want, as soon as I'm dissatisfied with your management. But in this place there shall always be a McDonald's.
I mean, Serenity, do you think they all realize I literally just gave them a step-by-step right there?
I don't think they do. And I can see it absolutely because we talked so much about it. But let's ask. Hey, Crow. So we talked about you wanting to buy a house and you want to get to that point. Is this making sense? Do you have any questions? Please toss them out there, man. You got all this brilliance up here. Utilize it.
I just wouldn't personally. For me, I mean, I understand that's the smart thing to do, but I personally wouldn't do it. That's just me.
Okay. Why?
Because it's not my world. If you guys want to talk about like my world, I mean, I have a code book that's that thick that has all about interpretation, all about that stuff, all about phrasing, all about stuff like that. Same thing with what you guys are talking about. I don't know enough of it to know if I'm going to get burned. I don't know enough of it to know all the loopholes, all the things.
You're good, bro. As an individual, retail guy to retail guy, if you want to have that chat sometime, I do it on the regular. I call it the money talk.
Yeah.
But that's like trying to grab my 4 years of electrical knowledge and shove it down your throat in a day or two. It doesn't work that way.
Well, you need to be an incredibly good communicator in order to be able to digest the same type of information for a different type of learning audience. You got to know who needs what knowledge and how they need to absorb it in order to give it to anybody.
Again, a good teacher and good recipient definitely helps. But again, we're talking like years of knowledge. Here, absorb this. Even if you had the best teacher in the world, there's no way to cram that much information into a tiny little box.
Well, I do my very best.
Really?
That's all I can say.
I'm not saying you're not a good teacher. I'm just saying that for me to be comfortable with it, me personally, there's not enough time.
I understand why you feel that way, and knowing what I know about just, I'll call it, Amazon warehouse workers, many of them feel the same way. Cyril, you and I will have to, this is a business niche and a possible solution to a widespread series of educational defects that we might be able to resolve. There's a lot of food for thought here.
Yeah, that is true. We'll have to chew on it.
Exactly. And, Crow, I didn't point you out for negativity, by the way. And so it's one of those, I think that's one of the mentalities that exists in today's society. So many people, you guys are talking a foreign language to them. They're like, wait, I don't get, why would I make an LLC to buy a house? That doesn't make any damn sense. And, well, what if the business fails? Do I lose the house? And I mean, there's a lot of concerns. A lot of people don't know how money works. And so we did this a lot.
Why would you mine crypto? The cost benefit doesn't make sense. I don't have enough money to invest in the cash or the crypto or the machines or the power cost of the machines. I don't have any of that. I don't even have the space to store the machines to keep it cool. How the heck am I supposed to do any of that? And honestly, from Crow's perspective, from the retail person's perspective, where like at most you might have $20 to invest in some kind of savings that you hope to grow, like, I get it. We're already all bled for time and energy and brain space to learn, and it is virtually impossible to compress this type of information into a amount of space that is so easily digestible that we could basically cure the financial defect of all of the United States less than 100 IQ citizenry with a single meme. If I had that communicative power, I'd already put the meme out.
Absolutely. But here's the question. Let's say, yeah, good.
Even from somebody who's getting their feet into business, a lot of this is, it's a stretch because I read code all day long. I have not read the IRS code. We'll put it that far. But it's trying to figure out what is and isn't allowable. Serenity, I was working on taxes, and he says, he expected to argue with the IRS about what is and isn't allowable. He didn't expect to have to argue with me. because there were things that he's like, well, I'm counting this as an expense. Well, I don't know if I would go that far. But it's getting into, and I hear you, Crow, it's what you're comfortable with. There are some things Serenity says, that's an expense. I said comfortable with. And it goes to taxes. So ultimately, I'm the one who's responsible. And so it's a comfort level. And learning what is and isn't allowable. And how do I work around it? How do I make it allowable? And, you know, I'm still learning, and I am, you know, comfortable with exploring options. And
the good news that I'd
some
have for a
people aren't.
person like you in your situation is that folks like me have already sort of trod the untreadable, which is to say I've reported crypto mining and earning income and staking income and smart contract income and all of these things. And I tested those waters, and I am not in prison. So
That helps.
the best news I have for you. Yeah, the best news I have for you is that when you are an honest actor, when you are reporting income, when all of the accounts line up and everything matches, and of course you protect your security of your wallets and all the money is there when you need it. So far, so good.
We don't know about tomorrow,
So,
though.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
And this is
tomorrow
why-
Kanye's going to deploy a Nazi coin or some shit, so I don't know what the fuck's going to happen tomorrow.
What were you saying, Dylan?
FBI, open up.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're here. And, you know, that brings about a great question. And, you know, Croy, I totally agree with you because this stuff makes no sense to me in a lot of ways. And, you know, I argued with Wild Angel, like, well, that's totally an expense because we utilize it for the studio. We utilize it for down home crypto in some way, shape, or form. That makes it an expense. She's like, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with that. And Nexus, I hear you as well because you've tried and tested it. But the trick is that's your experience, your knowledge. Most people don't have that to fall back on or understand. And so we've got a whole rainbow of spectrums running up here with different knowledge and experience. But the trick is if somebody wants to start getting into that, they want to start diving in, there's really no way to go out and look up, okay, well, yeah, this has passed, this hasn't, without hiring an attorney or something like that. And of course, most working class people can't afford that. So how can they start to learn these lessons that you guys have already experienced without going out and putting it on the line and risking it? And like with Crow or with Wild Angel, they're not comfortable with that. They're like, nah, I ain't gonna risk nothing. Me, I'm like, yeah, I'll throw it to the wind and go for it. But I'm a rarity. That is not normal. What would you guys recommend for them to start learning at least the basic foundations of what they can and can't do within the financial world?
Well, the good news with crypto is that we now have a lot of basically democratized access to financial superpowers that were otherwise reserved explicitly and exclusively for the uber rich. People who could leverage an office tower to buy a yacht kind of people. That sort of stuff. We can do that with various crypto tokens, with NFTs that are high value. There's all sorts of powers that we have with these currencies that technically speaking, we would have needed to have been accredited investors with massive amounts of money at our disposal in order to get access to those kind of products and tools as offered by Bank of America, Citibank, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, you name the broker. They're all like that. But Cyril, I'm sure, has some more to add on that.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. The juice kicked in? All right.
Oh, yeah. Juice
Well,
is flowing today.
Well, usually I kind of pace it out so that, you know, I'm feeling good and ready to like go play Helldivers or something when I know that it's about time for the stream to wrap up.
Which is
season-
getting very close.
Season 2 of Pantheon's debuting for us Amerikanskis with Netflix subscription, so I'm very actually happy to binge that this evening, especially with the day that I've had dealing with North Korea.
Yes, dude. Okay, seriously, if you guys have not watched it yet, please help us save the show because it is phenomenal. Go watch Pantheon on Netflix, right? They just
Or give
brought
it a live stream purchase on some other platform if you're willing to spend money on 1 or 2 seasons of a show. It's actually worth buying and holding on to from a licensing perspective.
It's a total of 16 episodes. Give it an episode or 2 for you to get into it. They do have to give some background, but then I wound up watching the first 5 episodes.
I was hooked by the existential questions asked by the pilot alone, especially in the context of our being people interacting with digital interfaces and AI already. It's essentially a think piece for adults. It's an animated adult show about what it would be like to digitize a human brain and what the consequences might be.
Which honestly was something I was trying to work towards with Parrotly Finance before my CTO wound up stepping down. I was trying to map essentially the human experience and create it in data points that could be loaded into an AI, which could then be spun up into a 3D environment as a representation of that person.
Yeah, me too, Britt.
I'm telling you, it's worth it,
Yes,
though.
man.
I don't generally watch animated shows, but I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Yeah, I recommended it to him.
Episodes.
It's definitely worth at least for your consideration, because it's not often that I get access to really high quality think pieces that are animated for adults. That's definitely not often, and it's very serious. It's not like South Park or a comedy or anything. It's played straight and it's very serious.
The thought. So I will say, because of like my 22 years of research of quantum field theory and unified relativistic quantum field theory, I kind of knew where it was going at the end, but if you don't already come from that place of understanding, it will definitely give you something to think about when it's over. It's ended perfectly, and honestly, the ending made me want to watch it all over again with the new perspective. You almost have to. It's really quite something.
Okay.
Nice. I'll definitely have to check it out. It's showing on Netflix, totally free. So yeah,
you can buy licenses to watch it on Amazon if you're that kind of person.
Well, we just talked about most of us are poor and we don't make enough to buy eggs. So I think we'll go Netflix because it's free, at least to try it out.
Yep.
But okay, guys. Well, that's about all the time we got this Friday. And remember, we won't be here next Friday because Wild Angel and myself will be on an airplane coming back from ETH Denver. But definitely join the Down Home Crypto Discord. I'll be sharing events from ETH Denver, hopefully some one-on-one interviews, different things like that. But also, as you guys said, there's all kinds of ways you can go out and watch the event and be part of it because a lot of great things could be happening there. So, let's see. I'm going to get caught up in the comments. You lost me at animated. The only animated I watched was Arcane BC. It was work of art. I haven't seen that one. I'll check that out, Brett. And also work beautiful in Pantheon. You guys are going to keep going all night. We'll never get out of here. Worthy of art merits, definitely. Okay, we'll check it out. Promise to check it out. But as always, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And I'll let the crowd take us out. But hey, the only thing I ever ask is make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Keep showing up every Friday, except next one, because you will be here every week. What the topic is, we don't even know. Tonight's topic, we totally diverted from. So, hey, that's why it's freaky, because we don't know what the hell's going to go on. So, thank you all. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks from today. So, Dylan, start taking us out, and we'll just go around the circle.
Come back to me. Let me grab my note. I hate being first.
It's pretty easy. Okay, we'll get back to you, Dylan. There's silence. It's like, okay, Si, takes that, brother.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. And hope you enjoyed and learned, and hope you enjoy Pantheon. Catch you all later.
Have a great weekend. Have a great 2 weeks. And have a good one.
Crypto is a dangerous, scary, and wild place. Please self-custody. Please use cold wallets. Please watch out for state-sponsored scammers trying to convince you that you're worthy of talking to like a Bloomberg reporter. And most importantly, watch out for inflation. Mwah! I love you all.
Hey guys, it was great to be back, and I look forward to seeing you more. Life is an adventure. Live it. That's what I'm doing next week at ETH Denver. Diving into something that I have absolutely no idea what I'm getting into. So even my Chromebook couldn't handle the software they wanted. So yeah, have a great week, everybody. We will catch you when we get back. And yeah, we'll shoot you some stuff from ETH Denver. Bye.
Okay, Dylan, your turn.
See you guys in ETH Denver.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Love you all. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Catch you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.